Well, hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. Well, I'm doing a much requested subject matter today on Mystical Fortunes Mysteries. I'm going to talk about Tartaria. Now, I'm using the golden wheel for this because this is a Slavic inspired deck. And Tartaria was, if you don't know, it is a real country. It's not a figment of anybody's imagination. Many maps have Tartaria on them. And it was mostly in Russia, China, that kind of area. That's why I have the golden wheel with the Slavic Russian theme to it. Now, it was an ancient country. It was, some people feel it was worldwide. There are many people actually who think that it was destroyed by a earth cataclysm called the mud flood. There's that as well, but that's for a separate reading. So Tartaria. Now, what's the evidence for Tartaria? Well, it's these big, massive, beautiful buildings that are around the world, and they are around the world. Some people believe that San Francisco was part of Tartaria. Some people believe that Australia was part of Tartaria. Some people believe that there are parts of Mexico that were Tartaria, but mostly in the Russian areas, the Slavic areas, these massive buildings that were so ornate with doors that were huge. And they're like, why are they doing these huge doors? There's also belief that the Tartarian people were very tall. And we have remnants of that in our gene pool when somebody is extremely tall. Here's the best example. Now, I hate using this example because someone's going to call me a Trumper or whatever. I'm not. I'm Canadian. Trump's son, Barron, his wife, Melania, is Slovenian, and their son is 6'7". So that could be an ancient gene pool from Tartaria. They also believe that Genghis Khan was part of Tartaria, that the Khans were the names for the kings of Tartaria. There's many great YouTube videos on Tartaria. I encourage you to search for Tartaria and find the one that speaks to you. There's so many, I don't want to favor one over the other. So I'm going to ask the question, though. How did Tartaria end? What was the general energy of Tartaria? They go back and they believe, a lot of people believe that Tartaria had free energy, and that's why there's spires on a lot of these buildings. That's why a lot of the fireplaces in these massive buildings aren't really fireplaces, but places to hold a radiator that would have had, they believe that they had electricity and they didn't need it with wires. And some people believe that's what Nikola Tesla was talking about. And he didn't invent it, he just reinvented it or re-showed it to the world. It's fascinating. It's a real deep rabbit hole. So once you get into it, there's a lot of conspiracies around Tartaria, but it did exist. It has its own flags. It is in the history books. I want to know why and how did it end? It was a beautiful culture. They were very cultured. They were very educated. Some maintain that they had electric vehicles. I believe that's where some of our steampunk comes from. For example, they had flight, the Zeppelins, in Zeppelin type vehicles. It's amazing. So what happened to that ended? How did that end? And all we have are these buildings that are still standing. Anyways, my introduction has gone on and on. If you don't know too much about Tartaria, please go look under YouTube. Just put in Tartaria. You'll be amazed. And you'll be like, how come I've never heard of this? And if you know a lot about Tartaria, please add to the conversation. 8 of Swords in reverse. Wow, starting off with something was let go, secrets were let go. Maybe the people rose up. You look at the ancient Moscow, like St. Petersburg, it's beautiful. It's the Paris of Russia. And all that was built. Tartaria ruled for, I'm trying to think, at least the 1800s, 1500s, possibly even earlier than that. The world, yes, there was some kind of ending. This is the ending. This is the ending. The world upright is endings. Ace of Cups, Page of Wands in reverse, 9 of Cups. They could have become too smug. Somebody may have come to offer something better. And just like all epochs and eras, like the ancient Romans and ancient Greeks and ancient Egyptians and, the Holy Roman Empire, whatnot, I see it's somebody came along with something else to offer. There was some kind of ending. I'm getting that, like the Page of Wands here in reverse is some kind of really bad news. And they could have become a little too smug. People may have not appreciated the gluttony, the riches that they had. We might have had an uprising here. Let's see. The Empress in reverse. This is, you know what I'm getting? Mother Russia. Right? They always call Russia Mother Russia. And we have here the Empress in reverse. So was it the collapse of Russia? I mean, you even look at this 8 of Swords. This looks like, a Russian princess. And it's in reverse. So was it the end of Russia? Was the collapse? Was Russia holding it all together? 5 of Cups in reverse. Oh, King of Swords in reverse. I'm thinking that there was definitely some kind of ending here. Now, I'm not getting that there was some kind of cataclysm, like I'm looking for the tower, right? If the tower was next to the world, I'd be like, wow. Because there's a lot of talk about the mud floods tying in and ending Tartaria. I'm getting that it was just, I think people were just sick of who was running it. And with this 5 of Cups in reverse on top of the Ace of Cups, I think somebody came along and said, I have a better future for you. I have a much better future for you. I'm getting echoes of the rebellion when the czars, when the Romanovs were done under. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Yeah, I'm getting that 6 of Wheels. I'm getting that it was people were just tired of who was ruling it. They felt they were too greedy. They felt like they could have even been running out of money. Sometimes the Empress is in reverse is being unable to create things, being unable, losing, your wealth and losing your harvest and losing your luxury, especially with the Wheel of Fortune here in reverse. I'm getting a 6 of Wheels. I'm getting that it was definitely a same type of takeover with this King of Swords. They just had enough of this cruel master and they wanted to distribute the wealth a lot more balanced. 3 of Cups upright. Now, the 3 of Cups is a smaller ground. This is definitely not kings and queens. This is the people. I think this is the people having enough. I'm not getting that there was some kind of cataclysm or something that put an end to it. Some people are saying like maybe there was a pole shift and this mud flood and whatnot. I'm not saying mud flood didn't happen. I'm saying that wasn't the end of them. I think it was the people getting together. I think the people freeing themselves, realizing they don't have to listen to these people who are so smug and have everything and not sharing like they should. King of Wheels. Now, this could have been, I want to say, this is interesting. I wanted to say this. What came to mind was a wealthy farmer. And it's interesting that a lot of communism holds the farmer in high regard. And this is this king of wheels. It's like a new king in town. There's a new king in town. Queen of Swords, upright. The Chariot, upright. Here's the Tower in reverse. Look at all the burning buildings with the spires. Interesting tower card. Interesting deck I picked for this. In reverse, and the Sun upright, and Queen of Cups upright. Okay, so this was definitely the Queen of Swords. Here is my divorce card. So this would have been divorcing the Tartarian rulers. I believe they have a new ruler that took control here with the Chariot. And again, the Chariot is the cancer, the card for Cancer, and Cancer is mother. And I'm thinking the motherland. And the Tower in reverse is destruction at your own hands. Tower upright is the hand of God. Now, the Tower can also be a good card. It could be winning the lottery. You could be getting a call from that job, your dream job. You've been headhunted. Be the person walking into the room, you meet your soulmate, you instantly fall in love. Those are Tower moments as well. But the Tower can also be a lot of destruction. It can be the hand of God. It can be that lightning that hits you. It can be that sudden end, the sudden stop at the end. In reverse, it's not the hand of God, it's the hand of you that creates your own destruction by your own choices. So I'm thinking that this Tartaria just got too big for its britches, especially here with the King of Swords, would have been really detached from the people. Really detached from the people. And we have the cups here, the Ace of Cups. So somebody offering you something else. And with the Queen of Cups here, I think they were between the King of Wheels and the Queen of Cups. I think we're getting more emotionally attached to the people, more of what the people wanted. And the Sun here, I'm getting like the birth of a new nation. So now it's not called Tartaria anymore. It's called Russia. Now it's not called, and Tartaria went deep into Pakistan, deep into China. It was massive. It was huge. And there was signs of Tartaria all around the world. It was definitely an advanced culture, absolutely advanced in so many regards. And the thing is what I'm getting here is that when the divorce came from the Tartarian rulers, like Genghis Khan was a Tartarian, so the Khans they were based out of Iran and Iraq. There's definitely some kind of sever, and we're going back to the earth, to the people, I think here what we're showing is that it went from a very cold handed ruler here with this King of Swords in reverse to something more that the people wanted, more emotion, more respectful of the people in some regards. And the Sun here is like it's a brand new beginning. It's a brand new beginning. I'm getting like in some regards some kind of, I'm not getting like it was a huge groundswell. I'm getting like just somebody started to rise to the top and offer the people something else, and especially like sharing let's share the wealth. Let's share. Also, that's what happened to the Roman Empire. They just got so big, got absolutely so big that they couldn't maintain control anymore. And I think this is what happened to Tartaria. They just couldn't maintain control of the people anymore. And that was at their own hand. They just became too big. This almost, you could almost say that this is Genghis Khan coming in and and trying to rule the people. I mean, he wasn't a very nice person. And actually, a lot of the Slavic people, um, they have Asian, like if they go to 23andMe, they have Asian genetics, and that's from from the mongrels coming in and raping the women, and the women would get pregnant, and that's why there's some Asian features, and that actually is in my husband's family. His paternal lineages, there's very, even though they're from Ukraine, there's some really strong Asian features. So I found that interesting when I was researching Tartaria about Genghis Khan coming in, and they went all the way to about Hungary. They managed to get to about Hungary. And when you're in Hungary, there are a lot of people who have strong Asian features. It's really interesting once you notice it. And not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm not saying anything about that at all. But I think it was just one person decided to take control and had people on his side. And I'm almost getting that there was like a lot of happiness after they left. And even the sun card here, you can see them retreating, going going back. Um, I don't think it was like anything really big and major. Here's the Page of Swords and propaganda. Of course, they wouldn't have had internet back then, but just messages getting back. Seven of Wands, standing your ground. There they are, standing their ground. This is our land. This is our people. Here's the Emperor. There he is. And the Five of Wheels in reverse. Page of Wheels in reverse. I think we have a group of people here. And also, if you've taken my tarot course, you know that the King of Wheels becomes the Emperor. And so I think this fellow came up and said, yeah, I think we've about had enough. You guys go back home to where you came from, this Five of Wheels. And he actually became the Emperor. And you know, you think about the emperor in China, the czars are basically emperors in Russia, but this is them, the people just standing the ground. But I'm not getting it was a real groundswell of people. It feels like it was a handful of stronger people, and I'm almost getting like just they just retreated and they went, yeah, you're right. You know what? This is a little bit much. Also, they may have been sold something and told, we've got a big army, and they were, and it wasn't true at all. I'm not getting army here in any way, shape, or form. That would have been a lot of wands. Wands are your military. We aren't getting that at all. We're getting more power play here. We're getting more. One person stood up and said, I'm, enough. I'm offering something for our people, and that's something that you're so detached from us. Please go from whence you came. And for some reason, they took it. And I think this propaganda here, that there was the Page of Wheels here, that there was some kind of fibbing going on. So it could have been something like, all my people are behind me, so you just head back home, or we're going to break out in war. And off they went. And that was the beginning of the end of Tartaria. There's nothing dramatic here. There's no war. So now I can see why you can't find anything about a war in Tartaria. You saw Genghis Khan come marching in. I mean, that terrorism, of course, but you don't hear anything about a war of how they really got rid of him. Sure, there might have been tussles here and there, but nothing like a big collapse, like we hear of, like, the ancient Egyptians. Well, the Greeks just came in and took over that, and there was wars with other warring factions in there. um like the Romans. Well, yeah, there were wars that pushed them back and pushed them back, the Holy Roman Empire, etc., etc. You don't hear how Tartaria really ended, and I think it kind of went out with a whimper, to tell you the truth. Like, I'm not getting big, huge cards here that there was, a fantastic war that raged on, and there's definite winners. I think we just got a bunch of people who just started to wake up and go, you know what, we don't need these. We don't need these pigs running this joint anymore. Let's all get into agreement, and we've got somebody here who knows what they're doing, and going to stand their ground. And I think the Tartarians just went, yeah, okay, it's all yours. And then that's how we got our emperors. We might have even had that might have been how we got the emperors in China as well. All right. So I wish there was something more dramatic than that, but it just sounds like, I don't know, it almost feels, I don't think there was an election, or there could have even been an election and somebody else won. It almost feels like that kind of changeover, like from one party to the next, and went, yeah, you're right, we can't maintain this anymore. And then that was the start of the end of Tartaria. Interesting. Well, that's not what I expected. I actually expected catalyst. Like, I actually was wondering if the mud floods had something to do with it. Mud floods had nothing to do with it. I don't see any kind of strong weather cards here or earth changes whatsoever. I don't think there is anything like that. I mean, if anything, the sun in reverse would have shown up the dark days ahead, and it's not. I think yeah, I don't see any big wars. I don't see any big earth changes. It was almost like I said, almost like an election, and now we have a new ruler. And I'm thinking that Russia fell first, and that was a big part of them, and then slowly everything else just kind of died away. I mean, especially if they ran out of money. If they ran out of money, and we had somebody here controlling funds that they were counting on, and maintaining that, oh, we got a big army behind us, but they didn't. And I'm thinking that that they also kind of ran out of money. But it's a shame that they took their technology and whatnot with them. That's a real shame, because there is a lot of evidence that they had amazing medicines, the free electricity through the air. They Yeah, go research them. I think you'll find a new subject matter that is quite fascinating. And it goes back to, it kind of ties into the simulation that we're on, or the Matrix. I wonder if somebody just came into the Matrix, went, okay, that was enough of that. Click. Who knows? Who knows? Well, let me know. What do you think? You think it was just we grew out of it, and it was time for a new empire to come on in? Thank you very much for your likes and shares and subscribes. Please take good care. See you online. Bye for now.